Well, today I thought I'd share a few words and ideas around our relationship with God. And these will be based on Moses' experience of God at the burning bush. As you remember, he walks up to the burning bush and God calls to him through that burning bush, "Moses, Moses." I think a lot of times in our life with God that we think of ideas about God, that God is everywhere, or that we think of some words that Jesus said in the gospel somewhere, and we have those notions of God. One of the Jewish theologians out there, a famous one, once said that too often our relationship with God is like I to an it. I in relationship with some object out there, an it, which we have information about. It's intellectual, it's like a thing. And the key there is, this basic relational idea, is that we move to an I to a thou. And that is a personal, interactive relationship. That is what happens for Moses here. So he's going to this bush that's burning and not being consumed. He's caught up that something special is happening, and God calls to him, "Moses, Moses." And so Moses, who probably knew something of the God of Abraham, Jacob, God of Joseph, who took care of the people while they were in Egypt, now has a relational thing going on with God. God has addressed him, spoken to him, and his response is, "Here I am." That's the words of a servant, someone who is open, who is under their Lord, their master. We could add words to that saying, "Here I am, your servant," or "Here I am at your beck and call. I understand you as I and thou." Well, I think a lot of that works for us as God's people today, that through Jesus Christ, God works through people to call us by our name, by your name. That you know God personally addresses you, where you're at. And that God has things for you to do, places for you to do. For Moses, of course, it was delivering his people from the slavery in Egypt under the power of Pharaoh to this new and better land flowing with milk and honey. For us in Jesus Christ, we too see the misery of people and what's going on with them, that God calls us to act on their behalf as well. So today, try a prayer. Try saying these words. Here, imagining your name being said by God and saying, "Here I am, your servant, at your beck and call." And that's where you know I and thou, this relationship that is holy with the eternal, our God. Amen.